You guys, we got him. We got Edge. Now, normally I like to keep my reviews in order, but I have to say it now because I'm so excited about it. I was thoroughly surprised. Yes, people have been talking about it, but I was one of those people who was like, "Nah, it's not happening. Edge is going to be like with WWE even after retirement, probably get a Legends deal or whatever." So I didn't see this coming at all. I really wish that I would have recorded my reaction to it. You guys would have definitely need earplugs because I was screaming, and I know my neighbors definitely hate me right now. And once again, Tony Khan has proven there's nothing that bank account can't do. I'm pretty sure he probably emptied out the bank account to get Edge on this roster. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with Edge and AEW. But don't get it twisted. This was my happiness is not only about Edge being there, it's because Tony Khan gave us a very solid pay per view here. These matches were amazing. So let's get into the results of Wrestle Dream. It was just so dreamy. All right, you guys. So Wrestle Dream was so awesome. Now, I don't normally go over the pre-show matches. You guys can watch it on YouTube, but I have to make a comment about Josh Barnett versus Claudio Castagnoli. It actually was one of the best matches of the night. I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. So if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. That was part of the pre-show. Now, we also had a comment from Tony Khan that says that tonight was the beginning of a new era for AEW. I'm not sure what that means. I can't really say we truly felt that tonight, aside from seeing Edge debuting in AEW. But I wonder what he means by that. What's going to be different with hearing a comment like that? Now, first match of the night, we do have MJF versus the Righteous. MJF comes out and let everybody know he had the damn thing to do with what happened to Jay White. He had nothing to do with it. Now, this was a really fun match between them. And oftentimes throughout the match, we do have MJF who's looking at his corner as if maybe Adam was there or whatever, but he has to do this whole thing on his own. I was wondering, maybe he probably regret doing this handicap match. Now, we do get a lot of great stuff from Vincent and Dutch, but MJF ends up taking the win, so there's no surprise there. To be honest, I think they should have went with MJF dropping the titles. I think it would have been a better thing for Ring of Honor moving forward. Now, next match, we have Shibata versus Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, both titles are on the line. Pure title is not on the line. These two beat each other the fuck up, okay? I was not really surprised about how badly they beat each other up. At the end of the day, it's respect between these two guys. But Shibata knows that there's two other titles that could be on his waist if he takes the win. So he's really giving it to Eddie. And then Eddie somehow gets some strength into him and he ends up taking the win for this match. This was a really great match, and I really loved the energy going into this pay-per-view. Everyone knew that this was in dedication to Antonio Inoki, so they really had to put their best foot forward in these matches. And as usual, Tony Khan roster always turns it out. Next, we had a TBS title on the line, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. And I want to give some flowers to Julia Hart. She really proved herself tonight. She proved herself to be a top contender in the women's division, whether it's for the AEW women's title or the TBS title. Obviously, Chris Statlander retaining, I think everybody saw that. But I do believe after watching this match, you would have probably feel disappointed that Julia didn't take the win. She has improved tremendously, and I'm enjoying what we're seeing with her in the ring. And she's only 21 years old. She has definitely made some changes to her in-ring style, definitely with her character as well. Now, she does take the loss here, and Brody King ends up carrying her to the back. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Julia. Please, Tony Khan, don't fuck this up for her. People were thoroughly impressed with her tonight, and I do feel like don't let her get lost in the card here with these girls. She has something to prove, and she proved it tonight, and I want to see much more from Julia. Up next, we had a fatal four-way tag match. Winner gets to face the winner of FTR versus Aussie Open in a future match. So I guess whenever they want to go for those titles. Now we do have the Lucha Brothers, the Young Bucks, the Guns, and Hook and Orange Cassidy. Very early in the match, Ray Fenix got hurt, and it was Penta that was doing everything for their team all the way to the end. Later on, we do get a chance to see somebody that was from the audience that posted a picture of Ray Fenix being escorted with the doctors to the back. It might be a serious injury, we're not sure, but I hope he's okay. I don't have much to say about this match because the Young Bucks took the win. Can somebody please explain to me why they needed this win? Nick Jackson won an opportunity to go for the international title with Ray Fenix on Dynamite this week. And then they just won the six-man tag titles for no fucking reason a week ago. And now they're winning an opportunity to be to face whoever wins the title later on. For what? Why are we not giving these opportunities to somebody else that actually can use this? Like, why do they need that? You know what? I'm not going to get into it. The Young Bucks won. So one of my favorite matches of the night, I can't really decide between two matches which one was like my actual favorite. But let's talk about it. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. Holy shit. Swerve put everyone on fucking notice tonight. Now, it really did help that he was in his hometown of Seattle, so the crowd was behind him, and the crowd made the match so much more intense. Them cheering and booing for these two guys really just made the moment so much more special. Now, this match was just, I wasn't expecting, I was expecting good from them, but I just wasn't expecting them to go way past my expectations. And, you know, I'm not a fan of Hangman, but he shut me up tonight, and I really did enjoy this. So this is definitely, like, my top two favorite match of the night. Now, we do have Prince Nana, who is ringside, and, you know, he is getting involved and whatnot, and we got to the point where the referee told him to leave, and the whole audience is booing the hell out of the referee, which I totally understand. Now, before Prince Nana actually leaves, he drops his crown somewhere around the ring. And while the referee is trying to make sure Prince Nana actually goes all the way to the back, like, why do you have to watch him walk all the way to the back? Here's Swerve, who is about to get hit with a buckshot lariat. He hits Adam with it in the head, and he goes for the pin. However, Hangman kicks out, and Swerve is pissed off, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna finish this bitch. This is going on way too long. He ends up hitting a JML driver and takes the win. It was well deserved. I am not doing this match justice talking about it. Go check it out. These two guys did a really great job. And yes, Hangman, I'm clapping for you too. But Swerve, holy shit. This right here shows that he's someone who's capable of holding gold. And then on top of that, being part of the Mobile Embassy, which they do come out and celebrate with Swerve, they need to do something with this whole faction to make them look like a credible faction. Unfortunately, they lost the six-man tag titles. Do something with these guys. We can't keep focusing on the same freaking losers like the Young Bucks and everybody who's already been able to have a lot of success in this business. Start bringing up these new, younger talent that are freaking hungry. I want to see more with Swerve and the Mobile Embassy and all these young guys who are going to be, at the top of this building, on top of the promotion in the next like 10, 15 years, whatever, while all these other guys are at home laying in their retirement beds. Do something with these guys, Tony Khan. They absolutely deserve it. Lovely match. Next, we have Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta, and we have Jon Moxley on commentary. And no shade towards Ricky and Wheeler Yuta, but Moxley being on commentary was actually one of the best things to happen on this damn pay-per-view, and it was the best thing about this match. Now, they do have a really great match, but Moxley comes off so relatable. He comes off like a wrestling fan watching a match. And he's also hyping up his bestie, Wheeler Yuta. And he's just being so relatable here. He's talking about wrestling like he's somebody at home enjoying the show. And he's talking a lot of nonsense too. But it was so fun. Now, earlier on in the night, he is on commentary during Claudio's match, and he got fined for dropping, I think, an F bomb, or no, he said shit, something like that. He got fined for that. Now, later on in the show, he's doing commentary again, and he's trying not to curse, but he does let some words out. Now, we do have Big Bill that comes out throughout during this match, and he distracts Wheeler Yuta, and that's when things start to really change for Wheeler. Now, Ricky Starks started taking over with that match, and ultimately taking the win with a Rochambeau. So I'm not really surprised that Ricky ended up taking the win. I do believe, based on everything that's been going on lately, this was the right call in terms of who should take this win. Now, after the match, Big Bill and Ricky are staring down at Moxley, who's sitting at commentary still. So I'm wondering if maybe we're going to see next Moxley versus Ricky. That would be really interesting to see. All right, best match of the night. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. What's there to say? We all knew that that's what was going to happen. We just had to witness it. Now, we do still have Jon Moxley on commentary, hyping up his other bestie. And oh my gosh, he's so super supportive. I'm just like, man, Renee Paquette, you're so lucky. And Brie, you're lucky too. Now, these guys have a I was so speechless watching this because I really felt like, holy shit, whatever reason why Christian and Darby is freaking the main event, it better be a good reason, because this right here is going to be hard to top between these two. Now, in terms of matches, nothing gets more technical than this, and I do feel like this was actually the best performed match on the whole freaking card from top to bottom. So I knew from here, I was like, y'all just gonna have to pull out a little bit of surprise, pull out a couple of spots to make people get all excited or whatever. But oh my gosh, these two guys are just so intense with what they do. They're so serious about it. And they're telling this story in the ring that is just amazing. I prefer this match over Bryan's match with Okada. This was absolutely damn near perfect. Now, throughout this match, I am so worried that Bryan's going to end up breaking his arms again, because, you know, Zack Sabre Jr., he does do a lot of holds too. So I'm just kept thinking, please just be careful with Bryan. No matter what happens, be careful with him. It was just so intense because I did not want that arm to end up breaking again. Personally, I kept feeling like maybe that arm is not even truly fully healed, but hey, he's in the ring, so he's going to have to maneuver his way around it. Now, Bryan does end up taking the win after 2 knee strikes, and I'm kind of surprised. I kind of thought that Bryan was going to, let Zack take the win here, put over the younger talent. Does he put him over? Yes. Throughout the match, he does put him over. And Zack, if no one else knew anything about him before this is definitely the perfect way to get into who Zack Sabre Jr. is. So this was a great match here. No, not even just great. Excellent. I loved it so much. My favorite match of the night. You guys, if you did not see this pay-per-view, go see it. There's just no reason not to. Up next, we have Chris Jericho with Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus Konosuke Takeshita, Will Ospreay, and Sammy Guevara. And yes, Uncle Don was there as well. Now, when it came out, they had on the screen, the Last Supper painting where Jesus sitting down with his disciples. Uncle Don is Jesus. Then you got Takeshita, Sammy, and Will in the painting too. I'm just like, who painted this? Who had time to do this? It's absolutely brilliant. Now, Uncle Don being out there, I knew there was going to be some foolishness going on. Let me tell you, these two teams, although everyone on their own are just phenomenal as singles competitors, I really enjoy them as a team. But I ain't going to lie, after seeing the match of the night already, I started feeling some type of way about the rest of the show. I was like, damn, y'all should have put this perhaps in a different order. Now, long story short about this, Don Callis does get involved and ends up hitting Chris Jericho in the head with his own damn baseball bat, and Sammy Guevara pinned Chris Jericho. And I love the fact that it was Sammy to pin Chris Jericho. That's definitely leaving the door open in this storyline. So everybody still hates Don Callis. Now, we did get a lot of fuck you Sammy chants. They cannot stand Sammy Guevara. And it was one of those situations where it's like, Sammy, they tried to make him baby face and it wasn't working. The fans wasn't feeling it. They still hate you for doing what you did to your ex-girlfriend. So if you can't make him a baby face, keep him as a heel and make sure everybody hates him. So I'm glad to see that Don Callis family ended up taking the win. And there wasn't no issues between Sammy and Will Ospreay throughout this match, which I found to be really interesting. So everybody was on the same page, no issues, another great match. So now we had the AEW tag titles on the line, FTR versus Aussie Open. At this point, I'm just waiting for the main event. I kept looking over to be like, how many matches is left? Because it just felt like this was a really long night. They did actually add a extra match on the pre-show. So it felt like we saw a lot of wrestling throughout the night. And sometimes I really do feel like it's quality over quantity, excuse me. I felt like that was best, but I really enjoyed everything. So I don't have anything to complain about in terms of quality of these matches, but it did feel like there was a lot of matches. Now, with this match right here, although I did enjoy it, we had an issue. It seems like Mark Davis has an injury. I can't say if he broke his wrist or his arm, but there's definitely something going on with his arm that brought the match down for me and probably for other people too. It just didn't feel like the same Aussie Open that we got, and they had to work through whatever injury that there was. However, Aussie Open does not win. They end up losing after getting a super shatter machine. FTR wins, so maybe we'll see FTR versus the Young Bucks super soon for those tag titles. Whatever happens, FTR, you better retain. All right, y'all, main event time. Christian versus Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls count match. Whoever wins obviously get the TNT title. And to be honest, at this point, I was over seeing Darby and Christian in the ring together. I just wanted it to get over with. Now, Luchasaurus does come out with Christian at first, but Christian makes him go to the back. Darby does the same thing when Nick Wayne comes out with him. He makes his ass go to the back too. Now, the first fall was for Darby. Darby ends up pulling Christian's turtleneck over his face and doing a roll up for the win. Christian, for the life of him, could not get that turtleneck to go down off of his face. It was interesting, but that pin actually happened really, really fast. Now, the match does move along, and Christian is definitely not happy being made a fool out of. So this time, he is really giving it to Darby Allin. He's not playing no games with him. So obviously Christian is so mad about the whole turtleneck situation that he makes sure he beats the hell out of Darby. And what he ends up doing to make sure that he gets the next fall was by taking Darby and slamming his body onto the steel steps twice. And the second time, it looked like Darby was dead. I was really worried, and I'm pretty sure everyone else was too. So at this point, we're just waiting for him to be counted out. He was counted out, so Christian gets the second one. So now they're each 1-1, and Christian is definitely upset. The doctors are checking him out to see if he's okay. Now they put him on a stretcher, and they're about to leave with him. And Christian, what he does is while they're tending to Darby Allin, Christian is taking off everything from the ring to expose the plywood. And I did not like this because this is what happened during the match, the TNT title match between Darby and Samoa Joe. They did the same bullshit before. So I want to see creativity, okay? I didn't want to see something that I've already seen before. So that's what ends up happening. And then they're about to take him to the back. Christian's not happy about that, so he gets on the top rope and he does a frog splash from the top rope onto Darby on the fucking stretcher. Holy shit, everybody's booing, everybody's upset about it. Now he does bring Darby into the ring and does a kill switch on his ass on the plywood. And then the ref counts 1, 2, and Darby somehow, with the spirit of John Cena, ends up kicking out once again. And I'm not happy about this. So since Christian has been putting a beat down on Darby, we do have Excalibur, who is on commentary doing the most, letting everyone know how disgusted he is of Christian Cage. And at some point, he even said, "This is bullshit." And I'm just like, Excalibur, calm the hell down. This is not what we want to hear from you on commentary. Do your job. Now, here come Christian. He's tired of all this bullshit. He ends up putting Darby in a scorpion deathlock. And I'm like, you know what? I think he's going to win with this. But then Darby ends up reaching for the rope and grabbing onto it. And when he does this, I see Darby has on a full acrylic pink set of nails. And I am just so jealous at that point. Anyway, they keep going on with the match. Christian is visibly upset that he goes to go give Darby a spear. And instead, Darby moves out the way and the referee gets hit. So cliche. So now Christian's over it, and I'm over it too. Christian goes to get the TNT title, and he is going to hit Darby with it. He's just stalking Darby, waiting for his ass to get up so he can smash him in the head with the title. And before he can even do that, Nick Wayne, dumbass, runs into the ring and snatches the title from him and goes right next to his mama. And I'm just like, okay, what's happening here? Darby better not be cheating. So then here comes Nick Wayne getting back into the ring, and Darby is actually encouraging Nick Wayne to hit Christian with the title. That is such a heel thing for you to do, Darby. Now, Nick Wayne is looking at Christian. He's holding the title. He's like, this is for my mama. This is for my dead daddy. This is for everybody that I love. And goes like he's about to hit Christian with it, but instead swerves and hits Darby in the head with it. And Christian gets on top of Darby. 1, 2, 3. Our champion retains. I couldn't even believe it. Now, the cameramen, they were working on overtime, making sure that they're panning into all the audience's reactions. They want to show everybody's shocked face when they saw what Nick Wayne did. Even Nick Wayne mama is looking like, what the hell is going on here? I actually was surprised. So after the match, Christian and Nick Wayne are hugging like long lost father and son, and they're celebrating. And they also continue to celebrate with whooping Darby's Allin ass after this. Now, we do also have Sting that comes out. Now, before Sting come out, there's no music, no nothing. So all you hear is the crowd cheering and all excited. And we don't see who it is yet. And then we see Sting coming out. And I'm like, okay, this is expected. Of course it's not Edge. So then he comes in and he's helping out Darby, but he's getting his ass whooped too. But then here comes Luchasaurus, and that was a 3-on-2 assault, and we need someone to even things out. Now, all of a sudden, it gets black up in there, and then we see a video of somebody getting into some really classic, pretty-looking car, and they're driving around, and then all of a sudden, they get out the car, lights turn back on, you think you know me. Holy shit, I had goosebumps and just chills running down all over my body. I couldn't even believe that's what was happening. The crowd went nuts, and I was so excited. I was screaming, acting a fool. If my neighbors don't know me now, they definitely know who I am. Now, I was really loud. I'm not even gonna lie. I know I woke up my daughter or whatever, but I just could not contain the excitement. I was actually surprised. Now, Edge comes to the ring. Christian hands him a chair, thinking that Edge is gonna help him hit Sting with a concerto, but he doesn't. He ends up hitting Luchasaurus with it, and then he ends up hitting Nick Wayne, but Christian runs and scurry on out of the ring, making sure he don't get a scratch from Edge. This is so good. You guys, if you did not watch Wrestle Dream, go ahead and watch it. I do recommend the pre-show. There was some good stuff on there, especially Claudio's match was definitely one of my favorite match of the entire night, and I loved it. Other than that, everything else on the card is definitely watchable. At times, I kind of question how they had the order of the matches, but this was a really solid show. I can't wait to see where things go from here. Like Tony Khan said, this is the beginning of a new era, whatever the hell that means. On Wednesday, we had 4th anniversary of Dynamite, so this is going to be so good, you guys. Go check this out. Tony Khan, thank you for some beautiful wrestling. That's all I want is some beautiful wrestling. Guys, go check out the show. Thanks for watching my review.